Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. On your inhale, come forward to a plank. As you come forward to a plank, squeeze the block between your legs. Look at the wall in front of you instead of the floor. And then try to lengthen your tailbone down toward your heels. I may like adjust you a little bit if you're hiking your hips up. There you go. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. A little down. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, go back to a downward facing dog. Soften your knees. Walk your feet forward until your feet are flat on the floor and your hips, your knees, your ankles are all in line with each other. Now here's a little secret. If you're coming on your fingertips or you're bending your knees to get to the floor, put your hands on your blocks and bring your blocks up to whatever setting you need so you can extend your legs and you're not bent kneed. And you can press into your hands as much as you're pressing into your feet. Modified Uttanasana. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now bend your knees. Take the block between your thighs and put it behind you on the highest setting. Yep. So you want it on that high setting. Yep. And then step your feet out as wide as your mat. So your heels are on your mat and your toes are on the floor. So your feet are turned out a little bit. Now come to a squat, set on the block. Bring your hands together in prayer and bring your elbows in between your knees. Now lift up a little bit at your sternum and press out with your forearms and squeeze in with your knees. It's a hip opener. Inhale. Exhale, 1. But you can set on the block. You don't have to make it so hard. It's still just a warm up. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. This is just to make it easier on you. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now put your hands on the floor. Lift your hips up just a little bit. Take the block. Put it to the side. Come sit down. Yep. And then straighten your legs out in front of you. On your inhale, bend your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Dorsiflex your left foot. Pull your left toes back. Then lift your left arm up. Then bring your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. So you're going to twist over to the right first. So everybody over here, we're going to twist over to that side over there. Unless you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, twist to the left. Then take your hand behind you, but pull your left toes back. So you got some action going on in that hamstring. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Try to look at the wall behind you. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Inhale, come back to center and straighten your right leg out in front of you. Bend your left knee. Put your left foot on the outside of your right knee. Pull your right toes back so there's a little hamstring action in your right leg. Lift your right arm up and then twist over to the left this time. Left hand behind you. Look over your left shoulder. Keep pulling those right toes back. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Then inhale, come back to center. And exhale, extend your left leg. Now bend both your knees. Put your knees where put your heels where your knees were. So a little further back than you think. Step your feet a little bit apart. Then take your block and put your block between your thighs, but like this, wider. So notice how that's going to cause you to take your feet a little bit apart. But if you squeeze the block, it also keeps your feet parallel. Then take your hands behind you with your fingers pointing to the wall in front of you. Bring your chin into your chest. And then on your inhale, lift the block up into the air. And as you lift that block up into the air, let your head go back. So you're going to have to bring your feet back. You moved your feet forward a little bit. Bring them back, not forward. Bring them all the way back to here. Yeah, on your inhale, now lift up. Exhale, 1. Tabletop, inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Squeeze the block and lift it higher. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Use your glute muscles to do that. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, come down. And move that block out from between your thighs and set it aside. You can sit on it for a moment, or you can sit on a blanket. Well, hello, everybody. And so we'll always do that warm-up. Like I said, I don't teach you those asanas during the warm-up. I do teach you them over the 4-week course. This is week 3 of Urban Sadhu Yoga Fundamentals. Week 3 is backbending. Backbending karmically deals with our future. That way, it doesn't make sense, like, right? You think it's backbending, it would be like, oh, well, backbending is about the past. No, forward folds are about your past, because forward folds, you're actually contracting the front of the body and you're opening up the back of the body. In backbending, you're contracting the back of the body and you're opening up the front of the body. We'll look at Mr. Scully in a moment and talk about that too. But let's just take a moment and introduce ourselves to each other. Hannah, Jesse, Lay, and I'm Austin. And so a couple of things. One, it's small class. Don't be afraid to say, hey, what do you mean? Can I ask a question? Ask a question. It's okay to ask questions in this class. Number 2, if you don't understand anything, tell me, Austin, I don't understand. Okay? Don't forget to breathe. Okay? I don't teach any kind of pranayamas until week 4. However, in backbending especially, because backbending karmically deals with the future, because you're opening up the front of the body and you're reaching for things that you can't sometimes see, and because backbending tends to be more intense than forward folds, we tend to hold our breath, okay, and tighten up because we get a little anxiety or a little fear happening. So breathe in the asanas. I will call the breath. I'll count the breath. You do not have to be on my inhale or my exhale, but know that when there are injuries that are happening, it's usually because we lock up or we try to get out of things too quickly. Yes. Yeah. So sometimes people will say asana means pose or posture. It does not. The Sanskrit literally translates into seat. So the seat of the asana that you're sitting in right now is my behind. But in downward dog, the seat of the asana would be the hands and the feet. That's why I also tell you, like in Uttanasana, put your hands on blocks. It's a forward fold. Your hands are part of the seat. If you're just kind of here, or you're kind of like here, kind of doing something with your hands that isn't actually grounding, then you're not really connecting to the seat. So the seat could be any part of the body, not just your behind, but it could be different places. And you'll experience that, especially in backbending. You'll find that the seat will be the belly sometimes. The seat will be the shins. The seat will be the chest. It'll be different places, okay? Any questions? All right. So we're going to start today off with a Surya Namaskar, and it's a Surya Namaskar that's specific to the Jiva Mukti method, which I learned as when I did my first teacher training. So we came out of Jiva Mukti, and it's called the Jiva Mukti Surya Namaskar, and I'm going to teach it to you guys, okay? So because I know everybody, we're going to do one round and then we'll break it down, okay? Does that make sense? And then we'll see what happens. So what I want you to do is I want you to stand up And listen, let's use props for this. So bring your blocks to the front of your mat and match your blocks up with the edge of your mat. Now, why do we do that? I want to talk about why we do this, and specifically, and I suggest this. Okay, everybody has a different yoga brand mat, right? None of our mats are the same brand. What do you notice that is the same about all of the yoga mats? The width. All right, that's important. Why? The yoga mat is a prop. Listen, ancient people did not have yoga mats. They practiced on dirt floors, what they had pounded down. The yoga mat has only been around since 1960, okay? And you're gonna make sure that phone's off too. Woo. And I'm gonna have you go, we'll have you go over here. Why don't you go over here to this far corner? Go over there to that far corner. What's your name? Say that again. Nalambali. Nalambari. Okay. And what does that mean? Because when I hear names, if you tell me what it means, I'll remember it. The blue sky. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of blocks. Now, so like I was saying, your mats are all the same width, okay? That's because there is an average of how wide people are in the shoulders and the hips. And this is the average width distance. So when we place our blocks on our mats, matching the corners up with the blocks, then you, in between, if I think of that as where I'm putting my hands, then this space in between is about the average hip width of my shoulders and my hips. So that's kind of interesting, right? Now you can get a longer mat because there are taller, but like people, the average bone structure of a person is average. It doesn't get wider or smaller by very much. Okay, it's only increments. It's not as big as you think, right? And the average is very. I used to do before I started teaching yoga. I was a costume designer, so I dealt with human bodies all the time. So I did tailoring and dressmaking and all kinds of stuff. There's an average to there's just the average body type that you would. It was very surprising. So come and stand in between your blocks. Now, in a Surya Namaskar, you're always wanting to get back to that spot that you're standing at right now. That's very important because what happens every day when the sun rises? Where does it rise at? Where does it set? Where does it rise the next day? This is east for you. You're always trying to get back to this space, right? You don't want to be behind the blocks and you don't want to be in front of them. That's a different location, okay? So in my tradition, let's just start with the seat of the feet. I teach Tadasana in week 1, but some people have missed week 1. Bring your big toes and heels together, right? Now, why? I'm bringing the left and the right together. We're going to do that. We're going to add on to that idea. When I bring the left and the right together, without even looking down at my feet, I know what each side of my body is doing. I'm aware of something just because I can feel it. And that's important when we talk about back bends, because a lot of things that happen in back bends, you're not going to see it. You have to feel it. Okay? Put hands by the side into Tadasana. We're going to do one round of this. I will teach it on the right and the left, and then we'll break it down. Okay? On your inhale, reach your arms forward, hook your thumbs, raise your arms up alongside your ears, and arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward at your hip crease, take your arms behind your back, clasp your hands together in a fist and straighten your arms and legs and look at your shins. Good. Inhale, bend your knees and put your hands down onto your blocks. Shift your weight in your left foot and step your right foot back into a long lunge and look forward. Push through your right heel, don't drop your right knee. Don't drop your right knee. Don't drop your right knee. Lift that right knee up. Lift that right knee up. Okay, so we're going to lift that right knee up like you're about to sprint. There you go. Exhale, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. We'll talk about that in a minute. On your inhale, come forward to a plank and look at the wall in front of you. Now listen, exhale, drop down to your knees. Bend your elbow straight back. Bring your chest in between your thumbs and your chin to the floor with your hips in the air like a zigzag. Press into your hands, lift your chest, and slide your chest forward, cobra. Squeeze your legs together, keep your elbows bent. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Push your seat to your heels like we did in the warm-up and lift your knees up, downward facing dog. Good for you. On your inhale, step your right foot forward in between your blocks. Exhale, your left foot next to your right and fold over your straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms alongside your ears, hook your thumbs, stand up, straighten your legs, and arch back, hooking your thumbs. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, take your arms behind your back, clasp the hands together in a fist, straighten the arms and legs. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, place hands down next to the feet, and step your left foot back all the way into a lunge. Try not to bend your left knee. Keep it lifted. Exhale, your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, press into the hands, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push the seat to the heels, then lift the knees up, downward facing dog. Try not to skip that, you'll throw your back out. On your inhale, step your left foot forward in between your hands. Keep your right knee lifted and your right hip active. Exhale, left foot next to your right and fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, stand up, straighten your legs and arch back. And exhale, hands by the side to Dasana. All right, so that is all back bending. Let's just start with this idea of hooking thumbs. Now, when I said bring your left and your right together, okay, that was like kind of like it's a cueing that other places may not teach you. Other places may say it's okay, step your feet apart. There's nothing wrong with stepping your feet apart. However, your sense of awareness has to increase 100 times because your feet are not together. So that means you're probably going to have to look down at them, make sure that one foot isn't out this way. I see this all the time in Tadasana and open classes. People standing there like this, just completely unaware. I also see a lot of this in people who did different teacher trainings that were like, or different trainings that are kind of very old fashioned. They'll do a back bend and they'll kind of go this, right? But notice what happens to my arms as I do it. One goes back a little further than the other because I got a little shoulder injury here, right? I got a little mobility issue here. And I see that all the time from the old style that people used to teach in a Surya Namaskar. If I hook my thumbs, so everybody hook your thumbs, then I know that the left and the right are going to do the same thing. So here again, just like bringing the feet together, I'm bringing the upper body together. So as I bring my arms alongside my ears, now bring your fingers away from each other. Feel how, lower your arms. Do this real quick. Bring your fingers toward each other. What's happening to the internal, what's happening to your shoulders? And then when you let the fingers go out, what's happening? Fingers go out, the shoulders are more open. Fingers come toward each other, there's a closeness. So notice if I bring my fingers out, then when I raise my arms up alongside my ears, I can actually make some space. I can bring a little space to this. Now, if I reach up a little bit through the armpits, keep the chin parallel to the floor. So bring your chin down a little bit. Remember, we'll talk about this in a second. Hold on. Keep your chin here. Lift your arms, lift your chest, and then start to arch back from the middle of your chest, and then come forward. All right? So that wasn't as big of a stretch as you thought, but there was a lot more indication of a back bend that was happening. So let's look at the spine for a second. Okay, your spine. We talk about back bends. Your spine has already two natural back bends in it. The neck is already a curve that way. So that's in a back bend. The lower back, the lumbar, is also in a curve. The thoracic goes this way. This is the part that's hard to get to bend, right? So when you throw your head back, you're just throwing your neck back. You're not going into a deeper back bend. You kind of have to learn to lift up at the center of your chest and move the chest forward, which is really difficult. So let's do this. Everybody take a block and come back to the wall and put the block against the wall and put the block right at your pelvis. Okay? And just really push your pelvis into the wall a little bit, holding the block there. Now raise your arms up alongside your ears and hook your thumbs. Reach up through your armpits trying to touch the ceiling, and then keep your arms and your ears in line with each other and arch back, pushing your pelvis into the block, not losing the block, but lifting up through your chest and through your armpits, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Now lift your shoulders. Grab your block. Now come back to the front of your mat. Now, did anybody really feel all of this happening in their chest and a little bit of muscle contraction in your back? Okay, so that's the key here. When people start doing back bends, they go, oh my God, I feel something happening in my back. Yes, you do. It's contracting. These muscles all through here are tightening to open this front part of the body that's stretching. So because people are unaware of their back muscles, they go, oh my God, I can't believe that hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt. You're just feeling it for the first time. Now try this. Take your block and put your block between your thighs like we did in your warm-up, okay? Now let's talk about the pelvic tilts, because pelvic tilts matter. And you want to bring your block all the way as high as you can, okay? So I want you to imagine that the block is a tube of toothpaste, okay? I want you to imagine that the tube of toothpaste is open in the back, and I want you to squirt the toothpaste on the wall behind you. Okay? What happened when you did that? You leaned forward. You leaned forward. Okay, so an anterior pelvic tilt is the beginning of a forward fold. Now, imagine that the opening in the toothpaste is at the wall in front of you, and then I want you to squirt the toothpaste onto the wall in front of you. What do you feel happening here? You're going into a back bend. Okay, so when we hook thumbs and reach up and arch back, the key here is yes, finally the pelvis moves forward into a post-anterior pelvic tilt. However, you never lose the grounding of the seat, which is your feet. So if you feel your big toes rise up and you rolling onto the outside of your foot to get deeper into a back bend and your feet are lifting up, you're going too far in your back bend and you're out of control. You want to keep it in control. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to feel the block between your thighs. I want you to squeeze it like you're trying to crack a walnut. This is a neutral pelvic tilt. Bring your arms alongside your ears and hook your thumbs. Reach up through your shoulders. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Remember, you're not throwing your head back. Press into your big toe mount and lift up from your belly, your chest, and arch back. But then last, move your pelvis slightly forward, but keep the grounding through your feet. Good, then lift your torso up. Bend your knees. As you bend your knees, squeeze your block. Dive forward into a swimming pool. Let your fingers touch the floor. Take your arms behind your back. Clasp your hands together in a fist. Then straighten your arms and legs. And look at your shins and lift your arms away from the body. Good. Now bend your knees. Bring your arms alongside your ears like you're diving into a swimming pool. Hook your thumbs. Stand up. Straighten your legs. Move your pelvis slightly forward, not losing the grounding. And exhale, hands by the side to Tadasana, mountain seat. Did that feel a little different? A little more aware now of pelvis and upper body. Back bending gets you to integrate the body. We'll talk more about that too. Okay, take that block from behind, out between your thighs. All right, now, so let's talk about stepping forward and back. And like this is a thing that I want, like sometimes you'll see all kinds of different things. Sometimes I would say that things aren't, I'll tell you the way other people teach, it's not wrong. We may not teach that way anymore, and I'll give you a reason why. Okay. So let's just come to the front of the mat, Tadasana. Hook your thumbs, raise your arms up alongside your ears and arch back. Then exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, take your arms behind your back, clasp your hands together in a fist and straighten your arms and legs. Now bend your knees a lot, put your hands down on your blocks. Shift your weight into your left foot, look forward. Now, pick your right foot up and step your right foot back. And as you step your right foot back, here's what I want you to look at. I want you to look and see if your knee is over your ankle. Old school used to be like this. I would bend this knee and I'd move this knee in front of my ankle and I'd try to get all down into it. I don't want you to do that. This knee is vulnerable when it's in front of the ankle. So you're going to lift your hips up. You're going to push through this knee. You're going to keep knee and ankle in line with each other, and you're going to push through this back leg, activating this quadricep instead of trying to stretch it. So in other words, the front muscle and the posterior chain of my right leg is active. It's not dropping down into a stretch in the hips. I don't want to do that anymore. That's where injuries happen. So as I do that, I'm going to push into my hands and I'm going to lift my left foot up off the floor and I'm going to step my left foot back. My feet are hips width distance apart. Two fists. So if you have your feet are together in down dog, bring them apart. Then come forward to a plank and look forward. Now everybody did this really well. Drop down to your knees. Keep your hips in the air, but bend your elbows like a push-up and bring your chest to the floor with your thumbs in line with your breast. Now, this is called Ashtanga Namaskar. It's a back bend. Then push into your hands and lift your chest and slide your belly forward, cobra, and then point your toes, keep your elbows bent. Squeeze your legs together. And as you squeeze your legs together, lift your hands off your blocks. Feel the muscles in your back working. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Good. Inhale. Exhale, put your hands on the blocks. Now, pushing your hands, lift your chest. Push your seat to your heels, lifting your hips, tucking your toes under. So don't just let it be passive. You're lifting up like a push-up. Push your butt back to your heels, everybody. Yeah, biomechanically, push your seat to your heels. So push seat to heels before you lift the knees up. So push back, push back, push back, push back, push there. On your inhale, lift your knees up, coming into a downward dog. Yeah, protect your lower back going in that motion. On your inhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Look forward. If your right foot doesn't make it, move it forward. And that's a little bit why you're doing that like old-fashioned thing. But I want you to lift this up and engage here. Don't bend this knee. Step your left foot next to the right, fold over the legs. There you go. Inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, stand up, straighten your legs, and arch back. Exhale, hands by the side to Tadasana. All right. Any questions? Okay, it's hard, right? Yeah, you feel a little heated. Okay. So let's just put that together. So come stand at the front of your mat in Tadasana. And remember, you want to get back in between your blocks, not behind them. You want to get right there. So step forward more. And I know you missed last week, right? But when we talk about stepping forward, Don't just think of stepping forward with your leg, right? If I'm back here in a down dog, to step forward, I have to start to lift my rib cage up to step forward, and I got to move my shoulders forward with it. If I'm here and I keep my shoulders here and I just step forward, that's where I end up. So you have to start thinking of stepping forward as coming in from the shoulders, bringing the shoulders over the wrist to step forward, so that you don't end up back here and end up here, right? That you get a really engaged muscular lunge. Okay, all right. So standing into Tadasana, mountain seat. Big toes and heels touch, tailbone moves toward pubic bone, gazes at the horizon. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up and arch back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in a fist, straighten. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, put the hands down next to the feet, step the right foot back all the way, look forward. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Use your blocks, that's part of the problem. Inhale, come forward to a plank, look forward. Exhale, the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Good. Inhale, press into the hands, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push the seat back to the heels, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward in between the blocks, look forward. Exhale, the left foot meets the right and fold over legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, stand up, straighten legs and arch back. Exhale, bend knees, take arms behind back, clasp hands together in the fists, straighten arms and legs. Inhale, bend the knees, put hands down next to the feet, step the left foot all the way back, push through the left heel, don't bend that left knee. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips. Inhale, come forward to a plank, look forward. Exhale, the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes under, seat back onto the heels. Lift the knees up, downward facing dog. Good. On the inhale, step the left foot forward. Make sure your right leg's engaged. Don't bend your right knee. Exhale, right foot next to the left, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs, stand up, straighten the legs, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side to Tadasana, mountain seat. Yay! All right. So the longer version of that, there's a chaturanga in that. I don't teach chaturanga until week 4. So you get to add on a little bit that as you keep going, okay? So everybody, move your 2 blocks off to the side. I should say, is there any questions about that? Any questions? Okay. Let's take a blanket, and if I didn't get you a blanket, I'm going to bring you one, okay? I'm going to bring you 2, actually. Here are 2 blankets. Okay. Take one blanket, bring that about right here, and take the, I was right, bring the folded edge toward behind the wall. Yep. Okay. Then take your second blanket and make like a vegan puff pastry with it, like fold it over in thirds. Yeah. And then put that right there, making a T. Okay. Then come and kneel down and bring your ankle, the bone of your ankle, right at that rolled edge of the mat, the blanket. So you're going to move up, so that I have I could slide my finger between my ankle and the floor. So I'm not putting any pressure in that bone, okay? Bring your knees up a little bit. So like that ankle crease is right there at that rolled edge. Perfect. Now, bring your knees together and bring your feet a little wider, making a V shape with your legs. And then bring your hands to your calves and then move your calf flesh out to the side and press straight down. Then you can even take your hands to your feet, press your hands into your feet, make sure all 10 toes are on the ground. take your fingers to your inner ankles and just lift them up a little bit. Then try to sit down in between your heels. Now, if you can't get there, you can put a block right behind, even 2 blocks if you're not into sit down, okay? But if you're sitting down, you should be sitting down in between your heels. Great, excellent, everybody, terrific. Everybody say Virasana. Virasana means hero seat, the seat of the hero, okay? Now, this is just a seating Virasana. Virasana is a back bend. You're stretching the quadriceps. You're also stretching the psoas. We'll talk about the psoas in a little while. But there's also a version of this called Supta Virasana. Supta means reclining or laying down. So take your hands behind you with your hands on the floor. Yeah. And now just start to walk your hands back and see if you can lay down on your back. I know this is that moment where you get a little nervous. Don't forget to breathe. So as you go back, try this. I trust yourself. You can go back. There you go. Now, yeah, go back. Trust yourself. Yeah. Now, everybody, you're terrific. Stay there. I'm going to help you out a little bit here. Okay? Because the problem is, yes, there's a little tightness. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the earth up to you. Now see if you can lay down a little more. Just go. You're inches away from that folded blanket. Okay. And if you want to, you can bring your arms alongside your ears and reach your arms back toward the wall behind you, giving yourself a little bit more. So there's a little tightness in the front of the quadricep and hamstrings. You can just stay here. You're still stretching. Good. And then from here, bring your hands to the floor next to your feet. Now, without twisting, see if you can lift your shoulders up. Press down and lift up using your belly, core. So press down your hands, bend your elbows, put your hands here. Now press and lift. Lift your chest. 1, 2, 3. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up toward me. Come up toward, no. Lift up right there. Come up. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Right. So you're going to put your hands behind your feet. Put your hands here behind your feet. There. Now pushing your hands, lift your chest. There, look at there. Push your hands down, lift your elbows, lift your forearms. Oh, look at there. Okay. Now, when you're coming out of Virasana, be mindful, okay? Because there's a lot of pressure on your knees. So you're sitting here. Come onto your knees. Come onto your hands and knees. Step your right foot back. Give your right knee a break. Drop your right knee down. Extend your left leg back. Give your left knee a break. Drop your left knee down. Push your seat back to your heels. Lift your knees up. Come into a down dog, giving both knees a break. Good. Then come forward to a plank and exhale the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Hips are in the air. So notice if your notice if your hips are on the ground. Then pressing your hands, slide forward, cobra. And then exhale, come down. All right. So from here, everybody, take your blanket that you folded up, put it in the middle of your mat. So a lot of times when I teach classes, you're just going to have this one blanket. So your puff pastry, you can set it aside, okay? So a lot of times when I teach classes, a lot of people are confused between the concept of Shalabhasana, locust, and Bhujangasana, cobra, and they think they're the same thing. So in the Surya Namaskar, we teach a cobra. Cobras only lift their upper body, right? Rattlesnakes lift their tails, right? So if it was rattlesnake asana, you'd lift your tail. But in India, they don't have rattlesnakes. They have cobras. So cobra only lifts his little head and he opens up his hood. And so in cobra, what you're doing is you're activating and learning to activate the lateral muscles, the trapezoid muscles, and the biceps, the back of the arms. That's what pulls the elbows in, right? In locus, you start to learn to lift up the back of the body. So that's the difference between a cobra and a locus. A locus lifts its tail. Now, locusts are nothing more than grasshoppers. So if you were like, and what makes a locust a locust? Not that it changes any way from a grasshopper, other than locusts have to come in swarms. So that would also imply that you can only do Shalabhasana as a group, or it would just be a grasshopper. Interesting, right? Isn't that interesting? I find the language interesting. So that means that Shalabhasana has to be done as a group of people to become a locust, right? Or it's just a regular old grasshopper by itself. But what I like about the biomechanics of going from Bhujangasana to Shalabhasana is it teaches you to integrate the upper body and the lower body in a back bend, which you're probably unfamiliar with because you never look at the back of your body unless you're a ballet dancer and you practice ballet in a room filled with mirrors. Most of us have never really looked to see what the muscles in our back actually do. So like I said, you're going to have to feel it. Okay, so come lay down on your abdomen. Okay, and you can lay your pubic bone on the blanket. Your pubic bone, because sometimes Shalabhasana will hurt people's pubic bone if it's a little, if they don't have a lot of flesh. So I always like to say this is the prop you would use for Shalabhasana. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to first lay your forehead down and then reach your arms alongside your body. Yep. Now, you're not going to lift your head up. You're going to keep your forehead down. Squeeze your legs together. Activate the muscles in your legs. Now, press your left foot into the floor, but lift your right leg up into the air. Just your right leg. Yeah. And stay with your right leg in the air. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, lower your right foot down. Put pressure in the top of your right foot. On your inhale, lift your left leg up into the air. Exhale 1. Try to keep your left leg extending instead of bending. Exhale 2. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, lower your left leg. Now, squeeze both your legs together. Make one leg. At the same time, lift both legs up in the air. Exhale 1. Inhale, keep extending through the knee joint. Exhale 2. Inhale, as if you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your toes. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, lower the feet down. And come set up. So you can come set up. Ooh. It's hard. That was my Oprah Winfrey moment. Okay, why is it hard? Why?
Because your upper body tends to want to lead. Like you have to pull it to keep it on the floor.
Yeah. And there's an isolation thing that's happening in us doing it like this for a few moments, that I'm isolating the muscles. But what muscles did you feel contract when you lifted your leg up? The lower back, but there was something else. Kind of. You're close. The glutes. Okay. The glute muscles. Listen, I hear this all the time. Yoga teachers saying, relax your glute muscles in a back bend. It is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, because if I relax these gluteus maximus and gluteus minus are the biggest muscles in your body. They are the workhorses of your body. They do all the labor. They get you to run. They get you to jump. They get you to lift your leg in a ballet class like that. When I do that, this contracts, or my leg does not lift. And if I try to relax it and lift the leg, and I put it into the muscles of the lower back, which then pinches the lower back spine. So becoming aware of glute muscles, and here again, most of us have never even thought about our glute muscles except to look and see if we look cute in a pair of jeans, okay? What you want to do is learn to contract them and use them in a way to lift you up in a back bend. Because if you learn to use these muscles, you will protect the lower back and keep it from crunching into this spinal area which already in a back bend. Does that make sense? All right, lay down on your little pad again, and let's put the front with the back, okay? And let's lead with the back. So bring your forehead to the earth, squeeze your legs together, reach your arms back toward the wall behind you, squeeze your legs together. Now lift your legs up. Now as you lift your legs up, start to lift your shoulders up, lift your head up, lift your arms up, reach back, and then lift your legs higher. Notice if you're bending your knees. So you want to extend through the knee joint and reach back through the muscles. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, inhale. Notice the difference. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. All right, come down. All right. So let's talk about this now. So we've integrated the lower body. And when you come into it, come set up real quick. So when I talk, you guys can set up real quick. So when you come into a back bend, there are back bends that have bent knees. However, Shalabhasana is not one of them. So notice that when you bend your knees and lift up, you're not engaging the glute fully, right? So the second thing is arm and hand placement. So if my palms are facing up toward the ceiling, notice how my shoulders are rolling down. Notice how if I turn my palms to face in toward my hips like Tadasana, my shoulders can lift up. So not out, I didn't go all the way, just in toward my body. They're not, if my hands come toward, if palms come toward the ceiling, notice how the point goes down. Palms in, not out. You're going too far. Just inside your body. So think of it like this. Come stand up. Whatever, when I'm laying down, whatever my hands are doing, my shoulders are doing. So if I turn into Tadasana, if I turn my palms backwards, so go this way. If I turn my palms backwards, notice how the shoulders are rolling forward. If I turn my palms forward, I actually am going too far and I don't have any control. I can't, because I'm locked up here. I can only go back. But if I turn my palms inward like this, then I can lift my scapula back. I can reach my arms back. Notice how much more mobility I have when my hands are in a natural position like when I walk. So this idea of what I do to the hands actually matters because it affects the shoulder, right? It's not incidental. It's not haphazard, right? A lot of people think it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It matters because once I turn the palms too far out, like even if you want to do that and you can do that and that feels good to you, I don't have anywhere to go but there. I'm stuck. I turn my palms back and I'm stuck forward. If I keep things in a neutral position and find neutrality, I have plenty of places to go. In fact, I can go back and forth in a neutral position, meaning I can protract and retract the shoulder blades. Does everybody feel that? Like that's totally something. Listen, the key to life is neutrality. The key to life is not being in one extreme or the other. If you want to live happy, find neutral, okay? Come lay down on your blanket again, on your abdomen. All right. Bring your forehead to the earth. Now reach your arms alongside your body. Turn your palms to face inward. So your thumbs are on the ground, just your thumbs. Now squeeze your legs together. Now this time lift your shoulders up, moving your shoulders away from the floor. Then on the inhale, lift your head, your chest, your legs, and your thumbs off the floor like you're flying through the air, but don't bend your knees. Notice if you want to bend your knees to get there. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Good. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down and relax. Who ever thought a locust could be so complicated? Right? So everybody say Dhanurasana. So Dhanurasana is a bow. It's a bow and arrow. Your arms are the string of the bow and arrow. Basically, what you're doing now is you're putting tension in the string of the bow by pulling back on the bow. But how do you do that? Well, it's all in your glutes and your legs by kicking back into your hands. So bring your forehead to the earth, bend your knees, and grab your ankles. Now, as you grab your ankles, there may be a tendency to want to let your knees go out to the side. Bring your knees together for a moment. Yeah, just a moment. And then kick your feet back toward the wall behind you. And as you kick your feet back toward the wall behind you, let your toes move apart and your feet move apart. Grab your ankles. There you go. There you go. And lift up. Exhale 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. So you let your knees go apart a little bit now. Exhale 4. So this can come apart and this can stay in line. Exhale 4. There. Inhale. Exhale 5. And then gently come down and relax. I think what's happening here is this is a combination of that little bit of, see, when we did Virasana, we saw that little bit of tightness in the quadricep. So it's that when you bend, the front of your thigh doesn't want to let you bring the foot back any further to grab it. Okay? So I'm going to show you how we're going to change this, and we're going to alter this. Everybody come set up. So, and we don't all have to do this, but we're going to change this for you by just changing the dynamic of you being on the floor like that, okay? So I'm going to take one roll. I'm going to take one blanket and roll it up that way. I'm going to take another blanket. Let's everybody do this. Let's just everybody do this. So I'm going to take up my blanket. I'm going to roll it up like I'm going camping with it. Okay? And then I'm going to put those two rolls down, and I'm going to lay down with my belly in between the rolls. Yep. Terrific. Terrific. Now watch this. Put your forehead down, bend your knees, and then lift your knees up and reach back and grab your feet. Notice how much easier that is. Yeah, it's much easier. Now, after you grab your feet, kick your feet into your hands, and everybody lift up. Lift your head, your chest, your knees. Feet are going to come apart. Notice how this got you in a deeper back bend because you changed the way that you were associated with the floor or the earth. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Now lift. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Gently come down and relax. All right. And bring the little rolls out from underneath you. Okay. So whenever you practice this, this is what I would advise. Not because there's anything going on, but it's that little bit of having that space underneath the abdomen means that when you bend your knees and you lift your knees off the floor, your pelvis and abdomen will go into a post-anterior pelvic tilt, which will bring your feet closer to your hands. Quadriceps, tight quadriceps are pretty common. What you can do, I like to do, is roll them out. Massage will help. Lengthening them will help. Right? Because there are asanas that only focus on quadriceps. They tend to be really intense for people with tight quadriceps. So something like massage and rolling out would just soften that tissue and that muscle. Strong muscle, tight muscle, don't ever be afraid of having tight muscle. Tight muscle means strength. Flexibility is weakness. We have to remember this. This is where your husband doesn't understand yoga. Yoga is about balancing. We were talking before, and she said he didn't want to come to yoga because there was all these stretchy women in the room. And the thing is that people don't understand that yoga is about balancing. You've maybe heard that. Yoga is balance. Yoga is balancing strength and flexibility. You have to have both. There has to be strength and flexibility. So it's not just one or the other. Yeah. Yep. Well, then we're working on that. But strength is not a bad thing, is what I'm telling you. In other words, like you having tight quads is not bad. It means that you have strong legs. So that means that's very good, because when you have weak legs, that's when old people and they break their hip. Okay? So having something tight isn't bad. All right? Any questions about Dhanurasana? Okay. Yeah, and it's just changing the propping, and you'll be able to do it. Okay, and we're just making it a little bit easier because of this tightness in the front of your quads to do this. All right, everybody, take your mat all the way back to the wall. Okay, and you can move your blankets off to the side. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to lay down with the crown of your head against that black molding of the wall. Okay? Yeah. And you're going to put a little pressure in the top of your head. Okay? Now bend your knees and reach down, and with your middle finger touch your heel. So that's a measurement. Even if you could go back further, that measurement of your arm to your heel is saying that your knee is over your ankle. Okay? I have joint on top of joint. Now, grab your yoga mat, your edge of your yoga mat, the side. Pull it. On your inhale, lift your hips, lift your lower back, and then lift your upper back as high as possible. Yep. Now push your head into the wall and see if you can lift your chest a little higher. Now, after you lift your chest a little higher, bring your arms underneath your back and clasp your hands together in a fist underneath you. Now, see if you can get your shoulders underneath your back by kind of swooshing from side to side and getting the shoulder blades under. Okay? So you're going to bring them underneath your body and not back here. Yeah. And make a fist with your hands. And then lift your chest and push your head, and then try not to twist your neck. Inhale, go straight forward and back. Exhale, 2, good for you. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Release your hands and come down. The middle back, the lower back, and the hips. Now, this is sometimes called Setu Bandha Asana, which means building a bridge. This is not Setu Bandha Asana. Setu Bandha Asana is really hard. Okay? It's a very difficult asana. So what this is it's a shoulder stretch. However, what I like to kind of get you to notice is, because you're now on your back, do you remember when we were in Tadasana and I said, start your back bend from the center of your chest, lift up, lift your rib cage up, lift your belly button up, then move your hips forward? Remember when I said that in that standing Surya Namaskar? This reverses that. The first thing you have to lift to come into the back bend is your hips. And you have to send your pelvis into a post-anterior pelvic tilt. Then you lift your belly, then you lift your chest, and finally you lift your shoulders and get your shoulders underneath you. So there's more than one way to come into a back bend. So that is a place where I want to contradict all of your teachers that have ever maybe said to you, oh, you never move your hips in a back bend, it's all in your chest. That's not true. You just moved your hips to come into a back bend. Okay? So notice that there's many ways to do different things, right? So we can come into a back bend leading from the center of our chest. That's very nice. That's pretty difficult. Or we come into a back bend leading from our hips. Okay? Everybody say Urdhva Dhanurasana. Okay, we're going to try Urdhva Dhanurasana a couple of different ways. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to lift your arms up toward the sky. I want you to bend your elbows, and I want you to put your hands on the floor next to your head. Okay? With your elbows toward the ceiling and your fingertips toward your shoulders. So my hands are going to be flat on the floor next to my head. There you go. Now, here's what I want you to do. Like you're building a bridge, lift your hips first. Lift your behind. Then lift your chest. Then puff up your chest and come onto the crown of your head, lifting your chest up a little bit. Good. Now, on the top of your head, not the back of your head, but the top of your head, press into your hands and lift your head off the floor and extend your arms the best you can. 1, 2, 3, lift up. Exhale, 1, good. Inhale. Exhale, 2, good. Now lift up a little bit more. Exhale, 3, good for you. Inhale, lift up, leading with your chest. Exhale, 4, good for you. Inhale. Exhale, 5, bring your chin into your chest. With control, come down, the upper, the middle, the lower back. Good for you. All right. So, there you go. There's one way to come into upward bow. Everybody did really good, but it's leading with your hips. Now, why is it easier to lead with my hips? What did I say about gluteus maximus? It's the strongest muscles in your body. So if you are somebody with weak upper body, lack of upper body strength, to lead from your chest is actually quite difficult because it's requiring you to lift your upper body up first and then lift the heaviest part of your body. So there's not, here again, I don't think there's a right or wrong way with it. It's about consciously knowing the difference between the two things. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try it this way. Okay, now this time what I want you to do is you're going to do the same measurement. You can keep your feet on the floor for a moment. Now, lift your arms up, bend your elbows, put your hands on the floor next to your head. So palms are flat. Now, think of keeping your hips down and lift your chest and come onto the top of your head. Yep. Yep. Keep your hips down, lift your chest. Now, push into your hands and lift yourself off the ground, lifting up with your chest and head. Good for you. Look at there. Good. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. I'm going to lift. Now you go with me. Exhale, 3. Good for you. Inhale. Exhale, 4. You can do this. Inhale. Breathe. Exhale, 5. Bring the chin into the chest and come down. The upper, the middle, the lower back. Which was easier? The first one. The first one, everybody was able to do it because everybody's very flexible in the room and strong. But the second one was harder, right? It was harder to do that. but very good. I'm going to try one more thing with you, and I'm going to show you something. Yes, ma'am.
I can try this. I know I can't do it for myself. It's just something like in the middle of the back.
Yep.
I don't know.
Let's try this. I'm going to try this. Okay. Now, so lay down in front of that towel, in front of that blanket. Okay. So everybody set up real quick. We're going to play Dr. Austin just for a second. Okay. So this is the same problem I had. She's lifting weights. When you lift weights, you're just going to watch, because this is specific to her situation, because she's lifting weights. Lifting weights tightens muscles. There are a couple of different ways that one could have a lack of mobility. One is injury, right? The second is overbuilt up muscles. When I overbuild the muscles, you think about those big bodybuilders, they can't lift their arms. They're not weak. They've just overbuilt the muscle to the point where there's no movement left. Okay? So we're going to change the flexion of your wrist. So put your hands on there. So you're a little bit at an angle. And put the other hand there. Now bring your feet back and your hips back a little bit. Now push into the edge of the wall and lift up. 1, 2, 3, lift. Look at there. Exhale 1. Let your head go back. Exhale 2. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale 3. Move from here. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your chin into your chest and come down. Now, wasn't that easier? A lot easier. Okay. Why? I changed the flexion of the wrist. And just like I said, this matters. This matters. This matters. This matters or this matters. If I change the flexion of the wrist, I change the flexion of the shoulder. Right? And so something of like requiring you to put your hands next to your head and getting that deep flexion means that I'm so tight in the shoulder, I can't lift up. But if I just change the wrist, then I have the space to move up. All right, lay down on your back. Now, after you do a bunch of back bends, you want to neutralize the spine by a twist. So bring the knees into the chest, give the knees a little hug. Yeah, good. And then you just like pull your belly button toward your spine. All right. And then let your knees go over to the left and extend your right arm out. Look over your right shoulder. And you want to keep your knees as high as your belly button. We have a tendency to want to drop those knees. But remember, you're trying to twist from this lower back, the lower spine. Lumbar. And then come back to center and then go to the opposite side. Good for you. And then come back to the center and then bring your knees into your chest and rock up to a seated position. Okay, and then let's move our mats away from the wall a little bit. So we're going to move out a little bit. And then I'm going to take a blanket, okay? And I'm going to fold the blanket into a quarter, okay? And I'm going to take the fringe and I'm going to put the fringe toward the wall. And I'm going to move it down and I'm going to fold my mat over the blanket. Now they folded that blanket funny. Let me have that real quick. Let me see this. So they folded your blanket funny. I don't like it when they fold it this way. I know I'm a control freak. I tell them at the front desk, I'm like, don't fold the blanket like that. It makes it woogie. All right, that's better. All right, now lay down on your back with your shoulders at the rolled edge and your head on the bamboo floor so that we're not putting any pressure in your neck. In other words, your thoracic spine is total, it's like making a little bridge. So you're a little too, you're wanting to go down there and be comfortable. I want you to come up toward the center of the room so that you come. You're going sideways. I want you to bring your shoulders right here to where my fingers are. Bring your shoulder. Now notice how now there's nothing here.
Yeah.
You're open. I don't want that resting here on your back of your cranium. Okay. Now put your hands next to your hips. Extend your legs out. Press into your hands. Lift your legs up into the air and bring your toes overhead. Use your glute muscles to do that. Yep, it's all in your glutes and your abdomen. So lift up the legs all the way up and put your toes on the floor behind your head. Woo! You got to go. You got to lift up. 1, 2, 3. It's like doing a crunch at the gym. 1, 2, 3. Go up. Okay, bend your knees. There you go. Bend your knees. Now clasp your hands together in a fist like you did in the Surya Namaskar. Then put your hands on your back. Now lift your legs up into the air. So I'm gonna get you into this. So lift. Put your hands on your back. Hands flat on your back. Lift your legs up in the air. Well, first you got to put your hands on your back. Stop putting your hands on the floor. Now lift your legs up in the air. Without the hands on the back, you're just flopping around like a fish out of water. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of this more as ankle, knee, hip, shoulder alignment. So what you got to do is you got to lift your hips up and you got to walk your hand on your bra strap in the middle of your back. All right. Now, move your feet back a little bit toward the wall behind you, moving your pelvis forward. Move your pelvis forward with me. Don't lock up. There you go. So you're going into a neutral pelvic tilt, not an anterior pelvic tilt. Yep. And all you should be able to see is your little toenails. If you can see your full foot, your butt's going back toward the wall. Okay? Now, flex your feet and let your toes come all the way onto the floor behind your head. If the toes don't touch the floor, bend your knees and bring your knees onto your forehead. Keep your hands on your back. If the toes are on the floor, clasp the hands together in a fist and extend your arms away from you toward the wall where I am. You can also grab a hold of your yoga mat. That's also an option. Now bend your knees even more and bring your knees alongside your ears and see if you can reach back and hold onto your knee joint. Karnapidasana, going a little deeper. Yep, good for you. Then put your hands on the floor toward the wall and slowly come down one vertebrae at a time until your hips touch the floor. All right, there you go. All right. Now, once you've come down, okay, everybody. So last week we just kind of taught, come set up in my class, we just kind of taught doing Matsya asana. So, you know, shoulder stand is a forward fold, right? That's a forward fold. Bringing your legs overhead, forward fold. You're stretching the back of the body. Matsyasana is a back bend. And Matsyasana, I taught it last week, just doing it as part of the vinyasa. But today I want to teach it with props. So I want you to come because this will help your back bends. Take one block, put it like that. Take the other block, put it like that. Now what I want is I want the block that's long in between my shoulder blades. And I want that block, the edge of the block, to be right underneath those two bones and the skull. So they kind of pull. Yeah, and then lay down on your block. And your head goes back onto the block behind you. So you go down some. Yeah, there you go. So the top of your head's on the block. And then you can straighten your legs out. Yeah, and you can turn your palms to face upward here or take your arms out to the side even. Yeah, and just breathe. So let your legs go straight. Yeah. And here you're in a deep back bend. And this is all thoracic, right? It's all chesty. So if you have a hard time back bending from the chest and there's a lack of mobility in this upper spine, and in the rib cage, this is what I would do to actually start to open up my chest. I do this one all the time because that's where my lack of mobility was. There was a little lack of mobility in my upper chest, and I was rounding forward. Good. And breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now bring your chin into your chest. You may want to bend your knees, press your hands in the floor, lift your shoulders up. Good for you. Yeah. And lift your back off the blocks. Come up. Yep. And then take your blocks off to the side and lay down on your back. And then you can take one of your blankets that you rolled up and put that underneath your knees. Okay? And then lay down on your back for a little Shavasana time. Shava means corpse. So this is a corpse. A corpse seat is interesting, right? Corpse has no energy. So it's not just relaxation. There's also a bit of a meditation here, an awareness. So I'm going to give you a little guided meditation while you're laying down. So close your eyes, just scan your body, and starting with your toes, tell yourself, toes, relax. Tell yourself, ankles, relax. Tell yourself, shins, relax. Start to tell yourself, knees, relax. Tell yourself, thighs, relax. Tell yourself, hips, relax. Tell yourself, lower back, relax. Tell yourself, abdomen, relax. Tell yourself, upper back, relax. Tell yourself, chest, relax. Tell yourself, fingers, relax. Tell yourself, inner hands, relax. Tell yourself, tops of hands, relax. Tell yourself, wrists, relax. Tell yourself, forearms, relax. Tell yourself, upper arms, relax. Tell yourself, shoulders, relax. Tell yourself, the space between the shoulders and the neck, the trapezoid, relax. Tell yourself, throat, relax. Tell yourself, jaw, relax, and the teeth move away from each other. Tell yourself, tongue inside the mouth, relax. Tell yourself, nostrils and the flare of the nostrils relaxes. Tell yourself, eyes sink deeper into the skull and relax. Tell yourself, eyebrows, relax. Tell yourself, the forehead relaxes. Tell yourself, even the hairs on the head begin to relax. Until the whole body, from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head, is completely relaxed. Gently start to deepen the breath. And by means of the breath, make small movements with the fingers and the toes. Stretch the arms overhead and stretch the arms and legs in opposite directions. Bend the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little hug. And then gently roll over to the right side. And just stay there for a second. And pressing the left palm into the earth, lift the torso up. And come up to a seated position. You can sit on your little rolled blanket or you can sit on a block for a moment. And just sitting up tall, close the eyes, inhale deeply. And exhale everything out. Inhale deeply and exhale out. And then just gently bring the hands together and bow the head slightly, sealing the practice. Thank you all so much. If you got any questions, I'm still able to ask questions. Next week, we will be doing, or tomorrow, the fourth week starts. So it's putting it all together and turning it upside down, okay? So that's what it's called. So you learn to do a handstand. Woo! It's not as scary as it sounds. So if you want to go to Purnima's class tomorrow, she'll be teaching that. If not, I'll see you next week in my class, and we will continue. All right. Thank you. It's the only fundamentals I have. Amy teaches it on Tuesdays at 5:15, and then Purnima on Sundays.
I usually take the Sunday classes.
Yeah. So I teach it once a week. And we all teach the same methodology and the same curriculum, but each of us may teach it a little bit, have something different to say because of our experiences, you know? Woo. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you next week. Have a good weekend. Come early. Don't try to come in because I start on time.
The direction of Google Maps are wrong.
Well, don't look at the maps, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers on the buildings. Check me. Check me. She got your mat. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.